The old Jameis hardline. So I bought this bike in 2020 in New York during COVID. It started life as a A1, which was the top of the line aluminum frame version of this because they hadn't released the carbon frame yet. And that came equipped with full XT drivetrain brakes, Fox suspension, race face, pretty much everything else, KS dropper and lever. So right off the rip, I ended up in Moab, snapped the derailleur hanger off, went to a shop, tried to find it. The bike was so new, nobody had it. But they did find that my XT derailleur cage had twisted. So they warranty upgraded me to the XTR, which was pretty nice. The next thing was, it had like some 800 or 850 mil bars on it that were just destroying my shoulders. So I ordered Atlas bars and stem. Those were like 720. No more shoulder problems since then. Been great. Shortly after that, I also put the Atlas crank on to match because the one that was on there looked like I just used it to hammer rocks for I don't know how many years. It was so beat. So yeah, I think that was everything I did year one. Oh, I got a set of DT Swiss wheels. Originally it had XT hubbed race face arc rims. I hated the XT hub because it was dead silent. And those wheels just, they felt mushy under high speed braking. So I went to some DT Swiss M1700s and it tracked perfectly straight when braking. They felt way better. But unfortunately, they make those rims out of warm butter because in 2021, when I got it into Crested Butte, I blew out the rear wheel with a Victoria airliner in there. But we'll come back to this set of wheels in a minute. So yeah, I think the first thing I replaced when I got to Colorado in 2021 was these brake levers. I kept snapping them off because they were like, I don't know, this weird like sheet metal, and it narrowed down in one spot and it would bend there, and then when you try to bend it back it would snap, and I went through a bunch of sets and finally found these flow levers and problem solved. Also sometime in there I swapped this SLX Master instead of the XT because man, F those XT brakes, the 4-piston, they're garbage. Yeah, inconsistent where they would grab. When you really needed it at high speeds, it wanted to drop all the way to the bar, and they just felt terrible. It's been great since I put this SLX Master on here, but yeah, it kind of sucks. So yeah, I got one original Master and 2 original calipers on here. So yeah, then when I blew those later in that season, when I blew the DT Swiss wheels out, I moved to the Spank. I think they're 359 or 395 rims, or 35 mil internal. Hope Pro 4 hubs. And then my XT rotors were pretty cooked and I had Hope hubs. So I'm like, yeah, let's spend too much money on some Hope rotors. So what else we got? Yeah, sometime in there, oh yeah, that KS, I had a KS dropper on there. It was feeling sloppy and rattly, so I replaced it with the Fox and a Fox lever. Oh yeah, this is the XT shifter, still original. That's one of the few original parts left. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, I put year one, I put a grip 2 damper in here. Because this was just like the base model 36 with whatever lockout damper that wasn't that great. So that grip 2 damper is a $400 damper, but you know what? It was worth every penny. That damper rides so nice. I mean, this is my favorite fork by far. But at this point, it's probably got close to 10,000 miles. She's feeling a little sloppy and rattly. It should probably be replaced. And same thing with this rear shock. For a few years I wanted to put a coil out back there, but you know, that's $2,000 worth of suspension on a bike that over the last couple of years I've only had out a handful of times. You know, during COVID I was traveling around living out of a bus, and this was all I did was ride this bike, so that's how I got so many miles on it. But yeah, so I got her out to clean her up, get her ready, hopefully get a ride on her soon. But oh yeah, I didn't talk about the frame, because that's carbon now. Forgot about that. Yeah, so 2021, I was in Crested Butte, up at like 10, 12,000 feet of elevation. And man, you got to let a little pressure out of those shocks. It gets real stiff up there. So I let a little pressure out. I had it set up for Crested Butte, and then I went out to California on the coast, some gnarly enduro trails. And I heard what I thought was a rock like ting off the rear wheel, and I stopped and I checked it out. And I'm like, God, I don't want to ruin my new wheel set. And I didn't find anything, so I continued on. The bike was making some kind of weird noises though. So eventually I found that the frame had cracked right at the seat tube. The weld all the way around the bottom cracked wide open. So the bike was only like 18 months old at that point. So I contacted Jameis about getting a warranty frame, and they said, yeah, no problem. And I wanted the carbon though, so I asked them, hey, how much to get the carbon? They let me throw a little money at it and upgrade to the carbon. Also, I went from a medium frame to a large. I'm not that big a dude. I'm only 5'7", 5'8", but what I found was, because it is kind of, I don't know, I got a long torso, so to me the reach on the medium was kind of short, so I was always dangling kind of off the back end of this bike. And what would happen as a result is it would load up that rear shock, and then I'd go off of something or hit a bump, and it would just bang and try and buck me. Since moving to this large frame, I haven't felt that once. You know, I haven't ridden it a ton, but I did make it out to New York a few times. I rode Copper Harbor, I rode Marquette. It's been great. So yeah, I don't know. That's just the my little history of the Jameis hardline, its evolution, and how I ended up with the bike I got today. Now what I need is just some conditions and a place to ride it.